Okay, thank you very much. So we're continuing now. We're up to the final paragraph of Ois. What was it? Ois again. Ois Daled, and there's two notes, the Aleph and Beis, which Rebbe wrote in response to the questions that the Manichim, the ones who wrote down the Maimon that Rabbi asked. Okay, what's in the gear right now is this. What are we talking about? It's all to explain the voice of my beloved Kol Doidi that's coming, skipping, medaleg alaharim ekapetz alak voice, skipping over the mountains and jumping over the hills. Both in of makif, but one is makif hakorev, that's skipping, makif harachik is jumping. So just to, the essence of what we learned in the previous ois was that there's three eifanim of amshocha. And he demonstrated this in connection with Chachma Bina, Abba and Ima, Abba v'Ima, Ava in Oshetevis are of course the first levels of Ishtal and the first Yichud. The first Yichud is Chachma Bina, the ultimate Yichud, the Kavan is the Yichud of Kuche Bricha Shchinte. So to pervade creation, but before that Yichud can pervade creation, there's a Yichud already at the beginning of Ishtal Yichud being the whole purpose too of creation. It is the Yichud of the Eibishter in creation. So there's three matzovim, there's three situations. There is Amshach of a Pnimi, of the source of Chachma Bina, which is the natural state, the natural Ilu v'olol, or whatever makif pnimi matzav that the Eibishter creates mitzad the teva of ishtalshalus. Then there's amshochav and oir makif arochik, and then there's a third thing, and that's a ketachlis kavana is amshochav the etzem. Right, the kavana is certainly not that things should remain the way they are. Now, the purpose of creation is not to be in harmony with nature. There are many that aspire to that as the purpose of their existence. But Al Pi Torah, it's not to be in harmony with nature. Al Pi Torah, it's to bring into nature elikus, kedusha, to sanctify nature. Al Pi Torah, it's all about change and revolution and evolution. More about that on another occasion. Okay, so there's three matzovim. There's the way it is mitzad the bria, then there's a hamshacha from the makif korov, and hamshacha of makif harochik, which is parallels yichida, essence, soul essence, atik, pnimius atik. So he illustrated this with Chachma Bina. So he said there's Chachma Bina on its own, obviously. Then there's the hamshacha. This is all part of its own, the natural state, from, just to use the technical terms of the Maimon, the Zeroi is the arms, the embracing arms of Adich Kesa, that's the source of Chachma Bina. And then there's the Amshocha of the Pnimius of Adich. In other words, there's two levels of Rotzen, the Chitzonius Rotzen, Pnimius Rotzen. He doesn't use these words here in the Maimon, but that's the parallel b'nefesh ha'adam. So the difference being that when there's the amshocha of the chitzonius of Adich, referred to as the arms, so that's amshocha that's drawn into a pnimius, that's a direct source. It's nimshech and the pnimius and Chachma Bina, so that doesn't affect any change. Chachma Bina don't unite in the face of this gilui. On the contrary, it affirms their own independent identity. But when there's amshocha of the makif, not pnimis, but makif hakorev, is the low level of makif, a transcendent gilui. That's on the one hand, it's not the full revelation. It's called mazel. It drips down. It's cyrus. It's called hair, metaphorically, that protrude from the head by the hefsek, the interruption of the skull, and it's only a small ha'odah. But on the other hand, it's a transcendent gilui. It's still transcendent. even though it's only a ha'orah, a reflection, a glimmer that flows down from the premise of arich we're talking about. But however, this is a gilui that causes a unity of chachma and bina, even empowers them to give birth, unlocking a very deep, relatively essential state within chachma bina. They can give birth to something, to a child that is of their stuff, like them. Notwithstanding that, this is still not tamshach of the etzem, atik. This is still a gilui, and a gilui means, I'm going to add these words, which we said in different ways, but put it this way, gilui means, by definition, a separation. There's the mashpia, there's the makabel, and there's the gilui that connects them. But, however, the amshocha of the makif harochek, that's atik. So when atik moves, it's the etzem. Atik is nimshach b'chol atzmusay. It's not a ha'ora, not a giloi, but its the entire being, the entire essence, and everything is lifted, as it were, or pervaded or brought into its home, into its essence, as we explained, the parallel to a home in the previous shiurim. Okay, that's what we're up to. Yeah, that was a summary a little bit. V'zehu, now, continuing now, the last paragraph. V'zeh ha'chiluk shebein medalag u'mekapetz. We started this yesterday, but we're continuing repeating it now, just the first few lines. This is the difference between skipping and jumping. Shamshocha de medali korak regalachas. Skipping metaphorically is only one leg, and it doesn't cause the whole body at one moment to lift, to ascend. So this is dugmas, this is similar to avo, yonkim mazola. This is the higher level we spoke about just now. Not the etzem, the higher level in Damshach of Arich. This is a parallel, this is similar to Chachma Bina getting from the level of Mazel. This is the pnimius of Arich, not Atik. This is the ultimate Gilui, not Etzem. In Aleph, they wrote a question, they got an answer. Avaloi Mamish, it's not the same Mamish, because Ki Gamam Shochad the Medalik or in the Moshe that we brought, it's only our order, it's only a Mazel, it's only Sidus. But here we're talking about a tremendous Gilui. It actually refers to Yitzias Mitzrayim. Not being suckling like a drop at a time. You say to Mizu, moreover, another distinction is that they're not exactly the same. That he's jumping with his foot. The foot is in a state of movement. That's where the gilui is happening. And that's a limb of the body. And it's not a level of mazel or the hair, which is negligible. A negligible amshocha. So in that sense, they're not the same. Further explanation, I can't give you. I'll tell you what it says. So I hope that we understood this. So what is he saying? That's the of what of medalig. Medalig is similar to, in italics, he emphasize it, similar but not the same, to the amshocha of the level of muscle. However, he concluded and he said, this is all what, first we spoke about Amshacha Pnimis and then Amshacha of Makif. However, the Etzem, Atik is the whole Etzem is drawn. Amshacha, the Mekapas Bishtei Raglov. When a person jumps with his 2 feet, as this is the metaphor here, the voice of my beloved, right? Sheideze neta kol gufoi. So here the entire person is moved. So this is Amshocha, the whole body. Mimakif harochek. This is the makif harochek. Kishakashen nimshach. When the makif harochek is drawn, it's not a gilui, it's not a ha'orah, but nimshach azai. Nimshach azai. Nimshach b'chol atzmusay is drawn with his entire essence. The paradox is it's not felt. It doesn't overwhelm the koichas pnimiyim. But that's the point. The point is, since it's the etzem, so the whole change happens from within, and in the most seamless and natural way. Other base. which the Rebbe wrote to an answer to their questions, published in the beginning of the Sefer. You can see their question and the Rebbe's handwritten notes. Response. Wait a second, it's a little bit strange because the hamshacha is of the etzem. It's being elicited by the regel. The etzem being the body of the person, like the heart, the brain is. But here the foot's eliciting this, and we're saying it's the etzem himself, no gilui. Even though you said in the previous order that the foot is aver, it's a part of the body, but it's not a projection from the body. It's not a projection, it's part of the body, but on the other hand, it's still not the etzem. Varai can cut the leg off and still live. So the question is, we're not seeing in jumping the hamshach of the etzem. It's the foot that's moving all of this. It's not a pure atzmizdika movement. Answer, question's clear, kind of. The body isn't moving, the body being made to move by the aver, which is not mamish the body. So where's the hamshach of the etzem? In the words of the Maimon, it's nimshach b'chol atzmos, say the etzem is moving mitzad the etzem. This is maybe the question. The etzem is clearer. Here the etzem is made to move by the leg. Whereas the Maimon is saying that no, that when atik moves, when atik is nimshach, it's from atik itself, the whole thing begins there. The answer is become walking, shikmikiv and shayadem shemekabet b'shtei raglav net b'chol gufa. Since the fact is, when a person, wait till the end, it will explain. Since that through jumping with his legs, it's only both legs, so the whole body is moving. Shekol etzem dimtze bazeh. It's understood that the fact the whole etzem is present here. Present where? Even in the raglayim. Alushubo betziyah the regel. But it comes in the foot. To explain. And this is similar, they wrote this in their question. Is this, do you mean that what you explained in the Sichos Lifnei HaMaimer? So that they wove their answer into his response. You can see it yourself at the beginning of the Sefer. So they wrote these words, but the Rebbe incorporated it. Yes, this is similar to what was spoken about in the Sichos before the Maimer, speaking about the teaching of the Baal Shem Tov taught, being in a very big and fundamental teaching in Chassidus and Kabbalah. Well, Chassidus. And that is, we speak about this all the time, essence. When you grasp even a part of it, you grasp all of it. That's not true of manifestation. A manifestation, if you're dealing with a manifestation of detail, the example that I've given you of the apple, if we're talking about a detail of the apple, we're talking about its taste, or its color, or its weight. When you address that, you haven't grasped, and you're not containing the essence of the apple. Other things have taste and weight as well. It doesn't convey the apple exclusively. But etzem, when you grasp a detail of it, then you grasp all of it. What does it mean? The pirush miktsaseihu. What does it mean, a bit of it? When we say a bit, etzem is not divided. What do you mean a bit of essence? You can't have a bit of essence. Once you divide essence, you lose everything. You can divide everything else, you got a smaller piece of it. But essence, when that's tampered with, isn't finished, gone. So what does it mean, miktsasei? How does it, in other words, how does it reconcile with the other statement, etzem bilti mischalik, that the etzem can't be divided? If you're talking about a bit of it, then you're dividing it. It's a bit as opposed to the rest of it. The meaning of it is as follows. The pirush miktsasei mitzad is galus lamata. We're talking about seeing or addressing the etzem in a part of the gilui. Tad is galus lamata. Shemitzad gilui hu begeder tzia v'yischalkus. As the essence is manifested, there's all kinds of division and components. That's what we mean by a part of it. Not that it's divided, but we're identifying it in a part of the manifestation. In other words, as we said yesterday, the most useful and helpful and accurate illustration is the atom, even though it's not the relative essence, but all things are made up of atoms, so it is an essence. So if you are talking about the atom as it's present in any component of the object, it's the whole atom you're talking about. If you're talking about the gili itself, the structure, so each gili is a different gili. But if you're addressing it as in context of the essence, that the atom is found and each part of the whatever we're talking about that has numerous parts and levels and configurations and complexity. So the whole atom is there too, no less than any other part. So the miktsosei, even if you're meaning to say, the statement of Baal Shem Tov, if you're addressing the essence of the object, but your pathway to the essence is through talking about a particular detail, but you're talking about that detail as part of the essence, then the whole essence is there. So, to use the example of the apple, if you're talking about color per se, color is not just for the example of the apple is not, I'm not using atoms. I'm using different language now. The example of the apple is there's three levels to the apple, like there's the everything. There's an apple, there's the type of apple, the details of the apple. Etzem, klal, prat. So tell me about the pratim. So if you're talking about the pratim, color, weight, taste, it's not unique to the apple, it could be anything. Because it is sweet. Sweet doesn't tell you anything, could be many things are sweet. It has so much weight, many things have so much weight. The etzem of the apple is not conveyed in that relationship if you're relating to what? The sweetness per se. But if you're saying this is a sweet apple, so even though talking about sweetness is only a prat, but your sweet apple, the whole apple is there in that sweetness, as it is in every other detail that you would address. That's what the meaning is. If you're addressing only a detail of it, but you're not isolating that detail, which could belong, it's shared in common with a million other things. But you're addressing that detail as part of the etzem, even though you're talking about the detail, the whole etzem is there.
Is that what he's referring to at the beginning of the Torah, saying that the kapis that's the whole movement, that's the difference between the kapis and the father?
Yeah, that's exactly what he's saying. He's going to finish it, I think. No, okay, we'll go back to the nimshal. So let's finish it inside. The Pirush Miktsosei, what do I mean by a bit of it? What do I mean a bit of the etzem? We mean a bit of this object, a detail of it. As it's revealed, that the appleness manifests in specific details. And it comes together, and it comes as a klal, a type of apple, the details of the apple. That's what we mean by its mixtus. It's various different components, and in their own worlds they're different. Weight is one thing, and color is another thing, and smell is another thing. In the worlds of Ischalkos, of Protim, they're different worlds. But the Etzem is manifesting this way. So if our sights, and if we're looking at the Etzem, we're addressing it as an apple, even though we might be now savoring or talking about it, a detail and focusing on that, the whole apple is there in every detail, even though the details in our own world are different. It's still apple, or atom, to use a bigger example, which can apply to anything. The Al-Derech gives an interesting illustration, a very deep Indian. Neshama shalikus shenas neshama. The neshama, my friends, is the most enigmatic, impossible to understand entity, to want of a better word. A nivra is a nivra. Everything else is a nivra. Hashem creates yashmai, and that's also, what does that mean? It's also difficult to understand. It is a mitzvah, it's not a mitzvah, but it's a nivra. It's a nivra, it's a creation of Hashem. I just want to point this out to you. We say this many times. I just had a discussion yesterday with the Kloisenberger Chassid. We're having a long talk, very spiritual man, looking. So talking about meditation and the disciplines of the East. So it was eye-opener for him. It's very seductive, and many Jews are drawn to it and spiritual seekers, because it speaks of unity and achdus and oneness. However, it's the ultimate avodah zarah, because what they're saying is that everything is God. Therefore, everything can be worshipped. It's like Etzem. Etzem is everything is the apple. Everything is the Eibishter. This prat, that prat, mamish, this dogma. What we're saying is that everything is a creation. It's all ayin ve'efes. They're saying everything is everything. We're saying everything is nothing. It's ayin ve'efes. It's a whole truth is the desire of Hashem that it be. So the Eibishter is the only reality, constantly bringing it into being. Sounds the same, but could not be different. That's true of creation. The only thing that's impossible to understand and doesn't fit into that at all, and that's the whole point, is the neshama. The neshama is a chelek l'kam imal mamash. That's a big chiddush of Chassidus. Actually, Chassidus was not mechadish this. That lashon actually comes from an earlier sefer called Shefatal, Kabbalah sefer, and the Alter Rebbe makes it a cornerstone of Chassidus and Peri Beis and Tanya, and it's a big chiddush. It's a very big chiddush, and it's really not understood. What does it mean? It's part of the Eibishter. What does this mean? On the surface, it's very difficult to understand. And I told you this and I repeat it again, that there was an article, and I wish I'd get my hands on it, an article in the Jewish press, maybe 10 years ago, maybe 15 years ago, by a Misnagdish Rosh Yeshiva or Rav, and the screaming headlines were, we have to reclaim Yiddishkeit. We've all been hijacked by the Chassidim with notions that he argues are foreign, and in some cases even more than that, anti-ethical, is that the term, to the foundations of Yiddishkeit, and he lists a whole lot of things, Hashgacha Pratis and Simcha, and all the way down to beards, everybody's nonsense, mikveh, all kinds of things. The Torah world, the literature world has adopted, been corrupted, and his main taina, aside from Hashgacha Pratis, is a big taina. There's no basis for that in Nigla, Adarabah. The Rambam seems to make it clear that Hashgacha Pratis only applies to the higher forms of life, tzaddikim, and the wicked are left, in the words of the Rambam, abandoned hefka to the dictates of Teva. But his ikar protest is neshama. His business of a Jew and a chelek lakamim al mamish. What's nonsense? All human beings are human beings. Hashem chose us because we accepted. Everybody else was given the choice. They could accept it. They could become Jewish till today. That's the end of the story. And he's right. It's a big chiddush, a very big chiddush, and needs explanation. And of course, once it's seen, it's in the psukim, bonim, and everything else, children, and the chelek havaya amay, and it's in the endless psukim. But if it's not overt, it's not overt. And I want to get my hands on the article because Misnagdim have a tendency to rewrite history as it's happening. Never mind 10 years later. Oh, we always did this. So it's good when a guy comes out with, hey, this is the difference, and we should appreciate it. Because despite his howling protest, it's too late. Everybody's embracing it, protest and simcha. It's a forbidden to be simcha now. Until Mashiach comes. And so many other things. Davening, you daven later, and all these things. Whole long list of complaints, and I applaud and congratulate him. Wish I could get my hands on it. I tried. Akoponim, what I'm saying is, what he says at the end of this out over here, that what is a neshama? Elikus shenas neshama. There's an expression elsewhere that says elikus shenas nivra. Because the neshama coming into the body, it's called a nivra. We say ata tahirihi, ata barosa, ata yitzarta, ata nafachta. What's a masham to be? So is it part of it? Is it a bria? Is it not a bria? So he says it's an etzem. And the neshama is a atzmi, it's a likus, it's a atzmi. Shenas and the neshama becomes a tzir. Can be individuals. We're all different. And the name shalikis, different with its own identity, with its own protim, and all the way down to into the guf. But the point is, depends how you relate to the neshama. The etzem is present. The etzem is not compromised. It's not part of the bria. It's amshach of atzmos, whatever the hasbara is. if there is even an hasbara at the end, ultimately, I don't know if it can be even explained. In that beautiful set of Svarim, Biyuri Atanya, put out by Hechel Menachem, by Rabbi Label Altain, I'm happy to see he's giving shiurim again, notwithstanding his stroke. Happy to see that. So, I did a wonderful job in the Ha'aris there. This is written, the beer is written for a Lamdan, a Talmid Chacham, and Nigla who wants to learn Chassidus. Everything has to be sourced and explained in Makairis, etc. So in the brand back they bring all the Makairis and all of the expressions of the Rabbeim dealing with the shaman. It's all very ethereal. So despite everything that they bring at the end, it's not understood. And Bemis shouldn't be understood. We're talking about Atzmos, Etzem, Chelik, Lakam, Mamish. At that level, Hasbara fails, obviously. But that's the Mitzvah. So he's bringing this as an illustration. That the efforts, Etzem, Kasha, Teifis, Miktzos, Hat Teifis, Bekuloi, Tal Derech the Neshama. What's the mixus of the Neshama? The manifestation of the Neshama, Lamata. It becomes a Neshama, an identity, a unique person. But Be'emes, Be'pnim Yusai, Be'etzem, Etzelikus. In every detail of it. What's Vata Tetzave? Again, we always come back Vata Tetzave. This final mime is the whole kavanah is to bring the etzem and the shama to bear, to reveal, to embrace, and to suffuse every manifestation of the neshama, that I am a yid. And that means the end, surrendering all choice. Freedom from choice. There's no I that's choosing, it's only Eibishter. Complete bittul. That's the avodah of the tzaddik at the end, the ultimate state. The tzaddik gomer. But that's where we're going. There's freedom from choice. That the neshama naturally expresses Eined Mulvadoi, and the world is so refined at that point that the world naturally expresses it. It reflects of every detail of creation. The whole creation cries out Eined Mulvadoi. Who brings it about? The neshama. Okay. I hope this is somewhat understood. Yeah? Gentlemen, a little feedback? Yeah. Okay. So let's conclude the ois. So that's now he addresses the pasuk. Skipping over the mountain. It's Inyan Makifi, but it's similar to the Inyan of Mazel, even though it's said by Oiris, he said in the Ora Aleph. It's coming through an Aver. Nonetheless, it's Yitzias Mitzrayim, not nonetheless. That's Yitzias Mitzrayim. This is the Mailer. That refers to Yitzias Mitzrayim, Kemaim Barazal. We see that the direct correlation to the idea of skipping ala posik on this very posik. The Medrash says, "Medala galahor," the voice of my beloved, it's skipping over the mountains. Dilig ala ket, the Eibush skipped over the preset time. The Eibush told Avram 400 years, and he redeemed him after 210 years. He skipped over the time because he started the 400 years. Rashi explains from the birth of Yitzchak. Akapona, we see the connection to Dilug. That's what Yitzias Mitzrayim was beginning of these transcendent Giluyim, Gewaldige Giluyim. But that was all Achana, Makapatzelak voice to skipping, jumping over the hills. That's Koyal Matan Torah. That's where the Etzem is Mamish drawn. Giluy the Yitzias Mitzrayim, or Giluy the Bechinas Makif HaYosha. Yitzias Mitzrayim was the Makif HaYosha, this Giluy that descends. As explained, the Rotzen. This is the etzem, which is a rebounding giloy. It takes everything into its embrace, as we explained in the previous shiurim. That's Matan Torah. The Maim will explain this further. If you recall, the Maim started saying before the thinking of Shabbos is like stamped at every step. It's Pesach is called Shabbos, Yerushalayim is called Shabbos, Matan Torah is called Bachas Shabbos. So beautiful explanation on the two levels of Shabbos, two levels of Menucha, and there's the Atzmis Diki Menucha, which is all part and parcel of this process of Yitzias Mitzrayim, Sivresoim, and ultimately Matan Torah. To be continued Beis Hashem tomorrow, and tomorrow Sorry to inform everybody. Tomorrow's Friday, yeah. Wish it was another 8, but tomorrow's 6 o'clock. Hope to see you all as we continue the beautiful Maimon. Today's story may